When I was a child, I spake as a child, I thought as a child, I understood as a child, but when I became a man, I put away childish things. For me, it had two stages. At the age of about 9, my mother pointed out to me that there are lots of different religions, and I realized then that the one I was brought up in wasn't the only one, and there was no special reason to believe in that one. So that shook my confidence. But then I was confirmed and sort of briefly took it seriously again. And then at the age of about 15 or 16, I discovered Darwinian evolution and realized that the one remaining argument for believing in a God, which was the argument from design, the beauty of living things, was blown out of the water. Then I became a proper atheist.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. The Absurdity of Atheism. Excerpt from Tawheed al-Mufaddal. Imam Jafar al-Sadiq, peace be upon him, said, if abiogenesis, meaning spontaneous creation without specific design, can be admitted under such condition of regularity, then purposeful generation and definitely balanced creation can be the result of error and perplexity, since these two are opposed to abiogenesis. It is absurd to say that order and integrity come about without the Creator, and disorder and impropriety of design and fate comes about with the Creator. He who says this is ignorant, because anything produced without design will never be exact and proportionate, while disorder and contradiction cannot be found within orderly design. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is far above what the heretics say. If an infant were born with full intellect, then he would have been overwhelmed by the world around him. He would have felt lost in a strange world surrounded constantly by various different forms and animals. It would be similar to a man who migrates to another country after being in prison for a time. If he has full intellect, then you will find him to be overwhelmed and lost, for he will be unable to learn the new language and local customs quickly. Likewise, if a person is taken prisoner to a foreign land at a young age, then you will see that he easily and quickly learns the local language and adapts more readily to the local customs. Also, if a child were born with a mature intellect, then he would feel shame and disgust at having to be cared for the way a mother cares for her child, feeding, clothing, and cleaning him. If a child were born with mature intellect, it would also cause the adults in charge of the care to not have the same feeling of fondness and concern for the child as they do a child born without a mature intellect. This is why a child is born into this world, while being completely unaware of the world and what lies therein. He sees the world through his limited understanding, and therefore does not become overwhelmed by it. His intellect and understanding increases little by little, so as to gradually introduce him to his surroundings and accustom his brain without enticing his curiosity and causing him to be overwhelmed and confused. This enables him to receive his sustenance with content and allows him to learn life's lesson of obedience and disobedience through trials and error. There are other aspects as well, which are the reason behind an infant being born with inferior intellect. The main reason being the love and affection which is felt by the parents for their offspring would not exist, especially considering the difficulties parents face when raising and caring for their children. A child born with mature intellect would also not be in need of its parents' care, and the bond which develops between child and parent would not exist. In such circumstances, even a mother or a sister would have become like strangers to him, and as such within wedlock limits. Don't you see that everything, big or small, has been created on a flawless plan without fault or error?